Most beginner traders enter blindly on hope. Well, today I'm going to show you how I do a live setup. Then, did yesterday's live setup do good or bad? Let's find out. First, I have a quick look around PulseFlow as normal. The market is kind of extremely bearish in the very short term. Bitcoin let us down yesterday. If you watched yesterday's video, I said Bitcoin was coming down to this order block here. And if it mitigated it, in other words, if it fell through, that was a bearish sign. Well, it did, didn't it? So here today, we're at the lower order block, the last line of defense, so to speak. If it breaks down below this, who knows, potentially 80? Now, Bitcoin is not the only thing that's been affected. If we go over here, you can see things like the NASDAQ is also down. Dow Jones down. And we kind of know why this is. If you are following world news, you know that a certain individual right now is attempting to mess up the world. That's why all this is going down. On the reverse, gold is shooting up for the very same reason. So we'll have to wait and see what the next days, weeks actually bring up, because we could be heading into a bearish market if these things don't resolve themselves. There's a big meeting in Davos today, yesterday, and I think tomorrow. Let's see what comes out of those. But at the moment, not good. Anyway, so that's why we're extremely bearish here in the very short term. The alts always follow Bitcoin, and I do say this quite a lot, right? Which is why we have the going your own way algorithm within PulseFlow to find those coins that are bucking that trend. So now I had to find a trade, and I wanted to try find one that was fairly fresh. So I found this GLM USDT. It's in an uptrend. It's a low volume tier. The volume's not too good, but it came in as a super confluence to VWAP and stack break just less than an hour ago. Let's go look at one of the actual alerts. Here we go with GLM. So, accelerating, bulls are dominating. Very good sign for going long. Prefers bullish, tends to pull back before moving up. Now, this alert came in at my 9:45, which is about 28 minutes ago, 29 minutes ago. So we're going to quickly go look. I've done nothing on the chart, but what I did do was run a secret alert that only I have access to when I'm testing brand new features within PulseFlow. Let's take a look at what that tells us. So let's have a quick look. So it's in the PulseFlow uptrend, we know that. In the long and the short term trends, it's neutral in the long term, negative in the short term. It says it's giving us mixed signals. RSI daily 37, 4 hour 21, that's oversold, which is not bad. Patterns making lower highs and lower lows. Well, we can see that there, right? It's been doing that. But what we've had, and in actual fact, the fair value gap with the break of structure, the first one came in here, but we've kind of got a second one here. So this is where I'm looking for entries at this point here. But as usual, I'm going to go through and do quick setup so I don't bore you to death. Okay, so I put on points of control as usual. Now, the point of control from yesterday, we are now above it. Normally, I would say I wait for it to come back down to that, right? Let's see what will happen. Let's get more into it. Stack break happened. There's the top one, white, brown, yellow, blue, stacked in order, got broken here. 8:45, my time, UTC +7, right at that VWAP bounce. The big thick white line is the VWAP. So let's have a look at our good old friends order blocks. I see on the higher time frames the POC is at this mitigated bullish order block, which could become a bearish breaker block, right at that POC. So this is for profit targets. I use points of control for support, resistance, profit targets, looking at where my stop loss should go alongside order blocks. So this is just me doing a live setup. Sometimes it's a bit boring and tedious, but you've got to go around and look at these things. So this is me, Mr. Conservative. And it doesn't always work out, but I'm still sticking to being conservative. So what I'm doing here with my setup is this. I'm going to assume, and this is my initial setup, I can move it down if it goes against me, and I never chase if it goes up straight away, as you well know. So first profit target there, which is 5%. Let's have a look back to what PulseFlow told us for a stop loss. It was 3.92. So nearly 4. I can see why. Let's put it there to start. So what I'm looking for is it to come down to here, and the initial profit target is for it to burst through this smaller bearish order block here. Let's just go up a little bit. We have different profit targets should it go. 5%, 13%, 23%. So that's our live setup. We will see tomorrow whether that worked out or left us behind, because now we move on to yesterday's live setup. Today's finished signal. I've rewound this back to where we left it on yesterday's video. And if you remember, I said over and over again in that video, we may have missed this. We may have missed this. But as you know, I never chase. And we left it where it was about to ping off this largest order block, bearish order block here. And I said, well, I'm going to wait to see if it comes down. So with no further ado, let's let it run. Well, that didn't take long, did it? It never came back down to my entry. It went through our first profit target and our second profit target. But I'm going to let it run some more. And that's where we're at right now. First profit target, second profit target, and beyond. So that would have been, and I have got in when I said if I'd have seen it without doing setup for this video, which was actually down here, about say here, you would have had 30 some percent profit, right? Sorry, my eyes are letting me down today. But what I'm interested in seeing is, I go on about points of control every day. You can see how it came up to this point of control here, burst through it, was rejected at our second point of control. Then the first point of control acted as resistance, and then up it went to this one. So I wonder whether there's a point of control somewhere around here. So let's just put a line here, that line, and let's go see if there are any points of control around this level. And wouldn't you believe it? There. Which was about where it was rejected the first time, and now it's burst through it. I keep saying, you know, points of control, points of control, points of control. I'm going to bore you to death with points of control. But they are a brilliant confluence alongside order blocks, fair value gaps. Anyway, that one got away from us. We thought it had yesterday. PulseFlow called it beautifully at the right time. I was late. What can you do? Let's see what GLM does tomorrow. We'll have a quick look back. I'm looking for that pullback. Will I miss another one? We'll find out tomorrow. Please subscribe, like, and share. Have a great day. Bye-bye.